and please switch off your phone. And now, as a token of our respect for Didiji, I request Tanya Goyal to offer her a garland. ठीक से खोल के ले जाओ.
बोले श्रीमद सद्गुरु सरकार की जय, बोले लाडली लाल की जय. Once again, my most humble pranams to each one of you, dear devotees, for being here this evening. And now let us all take a deep breath, breathe in Ra. Breathe out He. Shake off all the material, mundane thoughts from your minds. Keep your minds absolutely empty to fill with the divine wisdom and the divine bliss. Take a good look at the divine form of our most beautiful Godhead personality placed on the altar. Capture the form of God and Guru in your hearts and minds. Close your eyes. Doing Roop Dhyan, that is remembering the divine form of our Supreme Divine Beloved Lord, let us all pay our most humble obeisance, and then we shall proceed further with the program this evening. Manatha Shri Jagannatho Madguru Shri Jagadguru Madatma Sarv Bhutatma Kripalur Gurave Namah. Guru Raradhanadishcha Guru Paramadaivatam Guru Partaram Nasti Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. Dhyam Sada Paribhavad Namabhishtadoham Tirthaspadam Shivavirinchinutam Sharanyam Bhrityartiham Pranatapal Bhavabdhipotam Bande Mahapurushate Charanarvindam Nandanandana Padarvindayo Syandamana Vindava Sindhavah Paramasaukhya Sampadam Nandayanturidayam Mamanisham Yo Brahmanam Vidadhati Puravam Yo Vai Vedanscha Prahinoti Tasmai Tagvam Hadeva Matma Buddhi Prakasham Mumukshur Vai Sharanamaham Prapadye. Ananda Kanda Satchidananda Shri Krishna Chandra Charnaravinda Makaranda Milinda Mahanubhav, the blessed souls, eternal and divine. Dear devotees, today we are going to chant from Prem Ras Madira Pad. This evening we are going to listen to Milan Madhuri. This is out of the 21 Madhuris of Prem Ras Madira Pads, This Milan Madhuri is the Madhuri of the union of the soul with the Supreme Divine Beloved Godhead Personality. And this is pad number 6 of Milan Madhuri. We will listen about this divine pastime, this union, the first union of this gopi, meeting with this gopi, with beloved Shyam Sundar, and the very first time when she receives the divine love bliss. And when we, once again, just to remind you all, when we listen to all these divine pastimes, remember, nothing is to be imitated. Naitat samacharet jatu manasapi hiyanishwara. Not even in dream are we to imitate or think ourselves to be gopis. Let us never commit this transgression. These leelas, these divine sports, these divine pastimes are all shared just to help us do Roop Dhyan, to bring ourselves to that level of a pining, yearning lover, seeking for the true divine love from the Supreme Divine Beloved Lord Krishna, crying for that love, building that kind of bhakti, emotion, feelings in our hearts for our divine beloved. Moving up and away from just worshiping God to worshiping the Supreme Divine Beloved God, who is the only one true love of our lives. The soul eternally belongs only to God. God alone is ours. I alone am not His. The whole world is His. Tu hi tu hai, mera nandan nandan. लेकिन मैं भी तो हूँ तेरा नंदन नंदन. I am also one out of the infinite souls who is yours. But you alone are the one beloved. Only one Purush, the Supreme Purushottam. Daily in our prayers we seek for His arms of love. Prem bhiksham dehi, prem bhiksham dehi, prem bhiksham dehi. It will all be only a theoretical parity repetition if we do not fill our hearts and minds with the ecstatic, divine, blissful sentiments, feelings, emotions as the Braj Gopis had with divine beloved Sri Krishna. We can start to build such yearning in our hearts. For that reason, we've got these Pad Sankirtans. So once again, let us never commit the transgression of trying to think that I'm already there. We are nowhere near. And if somebody is, then please excuse me. Continue to progress on your devotional path. But the general truth fact is that we're all pining seekers and lovers for this divine love bliss. So in this Milan Madhuri, this is the pad where the gopi is sharing her experience with her Sakhi and in turn sharing with us with the supreme grace of our divine beloved spiritual master, Jagadguru Swami Shree Kripaluji Maharaj. We get to visualize this in our minds. Have the entire Roop Dhyan of this Leela going on and sing and chant and glorify the Lord's name. Kali Yamuna Asnan Karan Gai. Kali Yamuna Asnan Karan Gai. Kali Yamuna Asnan Karan Gai. Kali
Yamuna Asnan Karan Gai.
This gopi is saying that to her Sakhi, Sakhi, I went to the Yamuna rivers to take a bath. And what happened over there? Arey banta dhar ho gaya. And this banta dhar, my entire pride was crushed, and I was utterly defeated. I completely surrendered myself. I was sold to Shyam Sundar forever. And all this happened when I was with a huge group of gopis. I didn't go to the Yamuna to take a bath over there just by myself. I was not alone. I was with a huge group of gopis, and there were thousands of Brajvasis who had also gone to Yamuna river to offer their prayers. Some were offering milk, and others were giving charity, and yet others were taking bath. So I thought that why not I also go and take a good bath in the Yamuna waters, in the river. So I went in, and I was standing just waist deep in the waters of Yamuna and taking a bath, having a bath. And what happened? Well, something very strange happened. From just nowhere appears this nutcut, this mischief, Shyam Sundar. He appears from nowhere. So the other Sakhi says to this gopi, so what? What a big deal. In Shyam Sundar appearing from nowhere just like that, where you were taking a bath, what is a big deal in that? Because everyone is free to go and have a bath in the Yamuna river. Thousands of people and thousands of Brajvasis even kept coming and going when you were there. So there is no restriction on anybody, and there is no restriction on Shyam Sundar. But what did you do? That is most important thing. He coming, he appearing there, just from nowhere is not a big deal. But what did you do when you saw him, when he appeared? Well, the gopi says that I had heard so much about Shyam Sundar since the time I had come to Braj. And all the rest of the gopis kept on saying, wait till you see him, and then you'll be also charmed by him. No one can escape his glance. So I kept on hearing this. I thought he has just appeared where I was taking my bath. So just on the banks of the Yamuna, I saw him. So I thought that slightly only, I will just take a look, glance at him, and see what is so special, what is so extraordinary, gorgeous, attractive, magnificent about him, that no matter who sees him, that person is sold forever. That person surrenders the entire being, the entire self, completely to him, becomes his forever. So with this ego, with this pride in me that, I'm not one of those gopis, that I will surrender myself to him, to another Purush. I'm already married. But I was very inquisitive, very desirous to see what is so special in him. I mean, everybody's eyes, nose, ears, face are all the same. It's not that somebody's nose is fixed where the ears are supposed to be. We see everyone every day in our lives. We just don't go mad and crazy and fall in love for them. But what is it about him that everybody talks about him, that whoever casts the eyes on him or he sees someone, then they are surrendered forever and sold forever, and they fall in love with him and they go crazy and mad in his love? What is all this ridiculous thing, nonsense talk? With this ego and with this great pride filled in my heart, I thought that I will also just peep, just look at him quietly, and just a slight glance. So what happened? Did you go ahead and do it? Well, wait, Sakhi, let me tell you. Kali Yamuna Asnan karan gayi, Kali Yamuna
asnan karan gayi,
Naat hi naat achanak आयो, नात ही नात अचानक आयो, सुंदर श्याम सुजान करन गई,
श्याम सुजान करन गई,
राधे काली यमुना स्नान करन गई,
यमुना स्नान करन गई.
So I thought, what is so attractive in Shyam Sundar that no matter who sees him is gone forever, is sold forever to him? So keeping this big pride in my heart and being overconfident that I will not be, charmed by him, I lifted up my eyes just to see him, my veil, to see him slightly, thinking that what can be so beautiful that no one's life is spared, not even Brahma, Vishnu, Shankar's life is spared. I kept on hearing this, but I had no faith in what people said. Because what special beauty would someone else have? There is no beauty on this earth. Accepted that some people are more beautiful than the others, more handsome than the others, and yet there would be others who would be more beautiful than them. But all the Maya Badh Jivas, souls under Maya, Sab, Gobar Ganesh. I don't know why we say Gobar Ganesh, but Gobar Ganesh. So, all good for nothing. It's all temporary, transient human body. In every pore is filled all filth and dirt. If we don't take a bath even one day, you know, when we sweat, how it stinks. We can't even bear our own stinks and smell. So, what is the beauty here? No beauty. To the very slight degree, we can find some beauty in heaven. To a very slight degree, some beauty in heaven. But full beauty, complete beauty, perfect beauty is in Golok, is in divine abode, the divine Vrindavan, the divine Golok. However, the divine personality cannot bring that divine beauty on earth at any time, at any cost. Even if the Supreme Godhead Personality himself descends on this earth, he cannot bring, or she cannot bring, Radharani or Shamsundar cannot bring the same beauty of Golok on this earth. Naham prakashah sarvasya yoga maya samavrita, 7th chapter 25th verse of Srimad Bhagavad Gita. The Supreme Almighty Lord Shri Krishna himself declares through Arjuna to all of us that I cover my real self with my power known as Yog Maya power, not Maya, Yog Maya power. Thus, whatever we see in the divine personality is not the true, real, divine beauty or the divine form. It's already covered by the Yoga Maya power. And so much so, even if the divine personalities, the divine saints descend from the divine abode, they also cover themselves, their true selves. So the divine beauty cannot be brought from Golok unto this earth. You know, I just wanted to share a little thing with you. In the divine Golok, in the divine Vrindavan, every Sakha will look like Krishna. You will never be able to find out the difference between Sri Krishna and the rest of all the Sakhas in divine Vrindavan. And all the Sakhis, the Gopis and Sri Radharani, they will look precisely the same. Precisely the same. We will never be able to make out the difference between who is Radha and who is the Gopi, who is Krishna and who is the Sakha. Sat pratishat Bhagavan ka समस्त शक्तियां, समस्त रूप रस मिल जाता है उस महापुरुष को. In the divine abode, Golok. It's only when the Lord descends here, then we see the difference. Because the Lord comes to grace us for the welfare of mankind. Then there is Radha Krishna, there is the Swami, there is the Sevak, there is the beloved, there is the lover. All these bhavs are there. Coming back to this Gopi who is talking to her Sakhi, saying that I was wondering, what is this special, this extraordinary beauty? Because beauty, there's no beauty here, and the complete beauty is in Golok, and that beauty cannot be brought down onto this earth. So, this Sakhi wanted to know if there is something which is so extraordinarily, magnificently beautiful that everyone gets charmed, attracted, attached, pulled by this beauty of Shyam Sundar. So I thought, what is in it? What is so special? And when I saw Shyam Sundar, what I saw, when I saw Shyam Sundar, what I saw is that he also saw me. He was looking at me when I was looking at him. So this देखा देखी में कुछ हो गया. क्या हो गया वो मुझे नहीं पता क्या हो गया, लेकिन ये देखा देखी में ही कुछ हो गया. Something happened. I don't know what happened. When I saw him, and I saw him looking at me, he also saw me. So on this seeing, I don't know what happened. Something happened. And you know, Sakhi, I was sold forever. That instant, that moment, when I saw him, and I saw him also looking at me, in this dekha dekhi, I surrendered my entire self to him. I sacrificed my entire self unto him. And I was charmed by him. Standing in this Yamuna river, I just couldn't move. My limbs, my hands, and my legs became so weak. I couldn't move. I couldn't even come out from the waters of the Yamuna. It was so difficult for me to remain standing in the Yamuna river, Sakhi. Kali Yamuna asnan karan gayi.
Kali Yamuna asnan karan gayi.
Naat hi naat achanak ayo. Naat hi naat achanak ayo. Sundar Shyam Sujan karan gayi.
Sundar Shyam Sujan karan gayi.
Dinu bainan nainan sainan diya. Binu
Benan Nanan Senan Diya.
Dinu bainan nainan sainan यमुना स्नान करन गई
यमुना स्नान करन गई.
So Sakhi, this gopi is saying that it is not Shyam Sundar's eyes. There are many eyes which are said to be big, big, beautiful eyes, like the eyes of the deer, like the eyes of the ox. We have seen so many beautiful eyes of deer and of ox, etc. And talking about the other sense organs, the poets always describe and always try to talk about the beauty. When they try to explain and describe the beauty of us human beings, they give the comparison always with the animals or the birds. They are more beautiful than us. Like if it is talked about the nose, the beauty of the nose. Oh, the nose. It is so beautiful, so attractive, like the nose of the parrot. So we've seen so many parrot nose. In fact, seeing the big eyes of ox or of deer, we may get scared. But say parrot-like nose or big, beautiful lotus eyes. So this is how the gopis were describing about Shyam Sundar's big, beautiful lotus eyes like the deer and the parrot-type nose. But we have seen so many parrots, so many ox, so many of these animals, and we don't get so attracted and fall in love with these animals and birds and get so crazy and mad in their love. So what is there in Shyam Sundar's, this beauty, the beauty of his eyes and nose, that everybody falls in love with him, whoever sees him, and they go crazy and mad after him in his love. So Sakhi, just to see and just to feel what it is, I slightly only looked towards him. And when I saw him looking towards me, when our eyes met, I don't know what happened. Something happened. But Sakhi, it's not about his eyes. It is something which is within his eyes, inside his eyes. There is something in his eyes that when he looked towards me, he shot an arrow piercing through my eyes with that whatever is there in his eyes. It is that glance, that chittavani. Woh chittavani aure kachu. That chittavani, that glance, that sight, has something in it. And when he sees anybody, and if anybody comes in contact with him and sees him, then that person cannot escape. That person will be soaked and drowned in the divine love bliss. And so was I, Sakhi. I was drowned and drenched in the ecstatic divine love bliss with that magic thing, whatever it is, which is inside his eyes, that he pierced it into my eyes. So, Sakhi, this is the charm of Shyam Sundar. But it's not that, remember the philosophy, it's not that everybody will get attracted and everybody will fall in love and everybody will go mad and crazy after seeing the divine beloved God or the divine saints and sages. Oh no. Uncountable times Bhagavan Ramchandraji, Bhagavan Krishna, Sri Radharani, Sri Sita Mata, and the Braj Gopis, the Ashta Sakhis, they have descended on this earth. And uncountable times we have seen them. We have seen them. But not impressive, eh? Durvasa Muni was saying that, oh, the sight of Sri Krishna, the sight of Sri Ram, the sight of this saint, the sight of God, or a divine personality is such that you cannot escape. You will be trapped. You will fall in love. And you'll go crazy and mad, intoxicated in divine love bliss, just on seeing them. But it's only the divine associates when they descend on earth, or the associates of the Lord who are of a very, very high class in bhakti, with the grace of God, with the grace of saint, that they get attracted. The divine personalities, the divine associates, of course, when they come, you'll see, like this Braj Gopi getting attracted to Sri Krishna, Sham Sundar, and all the maidens of Braj, they are associates. Or the very high class of devotees who get attracted in this manner, attached with love in this manner. Not everybody. We have seen even the divine saints so many times. Even we have seen Sri Maharaji, those of us we have. How impressive. How much was that attraction? Depending on our purification of our hearts and minds. And not everybody gets attracted. So if there is a great rishi, a saint like Maharishi Durvasa, who says, oh, just go and have darshan. We will just go and have darshan for the sake of having darshan. Just like when people come into this temple and they go and have darshan of Kishoriji, Sham Sundar, and then you say, Jai Jai, Jai Ho, you have the darshan, and we don't even experience the thrill or the joy or the ecstatic bliss. Forget about ecstatic bliss. The thrill or the joy or the happiness to the extent and degree as we experience in our own spouse, in our own children, in our own friends, in our own parents. We see, we have the darshan, and then we go back home. And that's where we have the joy, the thrill of our hearts with our families, with our relations with whom we are attached to. Not even to that equal level, to that same level, we find the joy and the thrill. So like that, we just have the darshan of the saints, or we had darshan of God when the Supreme God was here, just did the darshan, just like we do the darshan of the Murti, and that's it. And then we turn around and say, hey, Maharishi Durvasa was glorifying that Bhagwan Ram or that saint, singing praises and glories, all about the divinity. But I didn't feel anything. Yeah, once when Maharaji in 2005 came to California, then Sri Maharaj was pouring and pouring and pouring the divine bliss. The very first day he went into the ecstatic bhav, as you have been watching some of the bhavs, the ecstatic divine bhav, bliss, while chanting Govinda, Govinda, Govinda. And there were few people, but one or two turned around and said, he didn't even sing. He's chanting. He's getting into divine bhav. And yet, the other person cannot hear him chant, cannot see him chant. You may say, Didiji, you are making up. Well, if you don't have faith, you don't have faith. I'm telling the truth. They couldn't see him. They couldn't hear him chanting. He was not doing anything. Yes, not doing anything. Just sitting there idly. Yes, sitting there idly. So this is the truth about us. So if we do feel some attraction towards God, towards Guru, never be puffed up with ego or pride. No. Always know that it is your grace, my Lord. I am giving little bit of my time, not sacrificing too much of my time and my life to do sadhana, just very little. Kadam uthaya humne, jo tu dhave ek pag, to main dhaun saat. You take one tiny step and I will take 60 steps, says the Lord. You come walking to me, I'll come running to you, to grace you, to lift you, to pull you towards me. You come running to me, I'll come flying to you. You come flying to me, I'll be there. Thus, it is His immense grace, Shri Kishori Ji's immense grace, our beloved Gurudev's immense grace, that we feel this little attraction. How many people do get attracted to saints or to even God? So many times, even when we saw God, we couldn't get attracted. But slowly, slowly, the sadhana, how it washes away all our filth, our dirt, our mic filth, our negativities, and how it cleanses us and the grace pours into our hearts and minds. And we are able to shed few tears while chanting the name of the Lord. We are able to enjoy, to some degree, the darshan of the Lord. We are able to have some thrill in our hearts when we see the curtains open and when we see Kishori Ji adorned in those most beautiful attire. Or every time the new dress comes, the new leelas come into our minds. When we listen, like you are listening to the glories of the Lord's name, not everybody will get this attraction. So not everybody would be charmed. We all saw Krishna and Bhagwan Ram, and we may still see them, and we may still not feel any attraction towards them, no impression. So this gopi is saying to the Sakhi, Sakhi, it was something out of this world. I just cannot imagine. I don't know what happened. Something in his eyes that actually got me totally defeated, totally surrendered, and I was sold completely to him. But then, as I was standing in the Yamuna River, now unable to move, now unable to even, it was so difficult for me to even stand because my limbs were so weak, and I was just drowning in this ecstatic bliss. But my heart, at one place, I was still a little bit conscious, a little bit aware, and that part of my heart was crying, was screaming, was crying so loudly to get touch, to get the touch of Shyam Sundar. When his sight, when his eyes, when the look, when to see him is so blissful, so ecstatic blissful, then what about just getting his touch, just getting his embrace? But then I knew in my heart of my hearts, it's impossible, absolutely impossible. Along with me were my mother-in-law, my father-in-law, all these were my security guards with me. At least I was able to glance, and that too secretly. If they would have seen me looking at Shyam Sundar, then they would have said, wait till we go home, then we'll see you. हाँ, हमारे देखने को देख लेते फिर, लेकिन वो तो अच्छा है, शुक्र अदा करो कि मैंने चुपके से देख लिया. Parantu, getting this embrace, getting this touch of his, impossible. The in-laws, and then my Nanad is there as well, sister-in-law, and my husband. So absolutely impossible. And plus, I'm a householder, a married woman. So I knew in the heart of my heart that it is absolutely impossible for me to get his touch. But my heart, my every roam, my every pore and fiber of my being was crying out just to get the little touch, the little embrace of Shyam Sundar. How blissful, ecstatic blissful it would be when just to see him is so blissful. So, Sakhi, I was just crying and wishing for this. And what happens then? Did something happen? Well, let's find out. Kali Yamuna Asnan Karan Gai.
Kali Yamuna Asnan Karan Gai.
Bhai Bivas Ras Bas Jab Bar Bas Bhai.
Vivas Ras Bas Jab Bar Bas
Bhai Bivas Ras Bas Jab Bar Bas Bivas Ras Bas Jab Bar Bas Tan Par San Man Than Karan Gai.
Tan par san man than karan gai.
Kali Yamuna Asnan Karan Gai.
Kali Yamuna Asnan karan gai.
So my roam, my entire being was craving to just have, desiring to just have one little touch of Shyam Sundar, but I knew in the heart of my heart it is impossible. At that moment, I was standing so sad, and Jagadguru Shree Kripaluji Maharaj appears, just very next to this gopi, standing right next to this gopi, says to the gopi, "Gopi, why are you so sad? Why are you so downhearted? Shyam Sundar is standing right in front of you, and you are sad? He's standing right in front of you, and you are sad? You are so downhearted?" The gopi says, "Yes, I'm sad, I'm very downhearted, because I know it is impossible for me to get the touch, the embrace of Sri Krishna, of Shyam Sundar. But I'm desiring for it, I'm really longing desperately just to touch him, even slightly. But I know it cannot be possible." Maharaj Ji says, "Sakhi, Do you want me to authorize him? Do you want me to signal green light? I can send green light signal right now to Shyam Sundar. It is all possible, Sakhi. The Sakhi goes, the Gopi goes, what? What are you saying possible? I'm a married woman, man. Come on. You don't know anything. Shri Maharaji says, I know everything. I know everything. Sab janta hu main. Bilkul sambhav hai. It is absolutely possible. Right now, I can enable you to receive the touch, to get the embrace of Shyam Sundar. What do you mean right now? Or if there is a scheme, some plan, like suppose you tell that, okay, when you go back home and when everybody is asleep at home, they've all fallen sound asleep, then you sneak out of the house and then you tell me to stand at one place and wait for Shyam Sundar, and then you tell Shyam Sundar to come and meet me there. If there's a plan or a scheme, then I can at least trust you. Have faith in what you're saying. But you are saying right now, right here, you can enable me to get the embrace, the touch of Shyam Sundar? Impossible. What are you talking? Shri Maharaji says, okay, you don't believe me, right? Now, listen to me. Do what I'm telling you to do. No procrastination, no delay. Tomorrow or day after tomorrow, right now, you are going to get the touch of Shyam Sundar, and your desire, your wish will be fulfilled. But do as I ask you to do. The Gopi says, what is it? So Gopi, you are standing in this Yamuna waters, right? Which is hip high. So that means it's not that deep. It's only up to the hip. What you do is just sit in there. Instead of standing, sit. Sit inside. And then when you sit there, then you lift your arms up. And you lift your arms up in a manner that it would really seem that you are drowning. And then start to say, I'm drowning, budat hai, bachao, main bood rahi hoon. I'm drowning, come on, someone save me. And then I'll signal Shyam Sundar to go and save you. The Sakhi says, but, hey, no ifs and no buts, Sakhi. No ifs and no buts. And don't worry, your husband will not scold you. Yes, he will not say anything. In fact, he will thank Shyam Sundar again and again for saving your life. And he will become Shyam Sundar's friend, because he will say that I'm indebted to you forever now for saving my wife's life. So don't be afraid. Thus, the Gopi, she does what she's told to do. She sits in the Yamuna waters, now where she was standing, and she raises her hands up, her arms up, and she starts to scream, please save me, someone save me, I'm drowning. And then, what happened? Well, we'll find out. Kali Yamuna Asnan Karan Gai.
Kali Yamuna Asnan Karan Gai.
Katilo Jal Kayo haan budi.
Kati बचावहु प्राण करण गई
काली यमुना स्नान करन गई
काली यमुना
स्नान करन गई. So when Sri Maharaji told the gopi, gave the advice, the gopi finally accepted the advice and she pretended as if she was drowning and she started screaming to be saved. And next what happened? Shyam Sundar jumped into the river Yamuna as if he jumped in a manner as if it was so deep where the gopi was. It was so shallow, it was only hip high, the water. But he jumped in a manner as if the water was so deep and this gopi was drowning. It was all, internal matter. He knew exactly what this gopi is thinking. And she is already a deserving soul now. Her bhakti is complete. Today, she has to receive. She has to receive and she will receive the divine love bliss of Godhead personality. So Shyam Sundar and Sri Maharaji. Sri Maharaji, my little mind says that he is like Kishori Ji, Radharani, always helping the souls receive the divine love from beloved Shyam Sundar. So here helping this gopi as Kishori Ji. And Kishori Ji's Agya, Shyam Sundar, he will always obey without question. That's my little mind. Anyway, Sri Maharaji, he tells Shyam Sundar, signals to Shyam Sundar, save, and Shyam Sundar jumps into the river Yamuna in a manner as if it was so deep and the gopi was already under the water, and now Shyam Sundar also goes under the water. It took little time for Shyam Sundar to get the gopi and come up, because of the reason Sri Maharaji has given us his own experience. And we know, we may have, some of you may have heard, that once he saved 6 little girls, 6 girls, in Allahabad, Sangam, Triveni, in the river Ganga. They were all following Sri Maharaji, and Maharaji had gone about 50 furlong, yards far out into the Ganga. He did see the girls coming, but then when he turned around, he didn't see them. They were all gone down. They had all drowned, and there was a cave. In the rivers, we have caves. So there was a cave, and Sri Maharaji knew there's a cave here. But the way Maharaji was swimming, he like a tadpole. His head was up from the shoulder. And so they all thought that Maharaji is just wading or walking, They didn't know that he was swimming, and the water was very deep there. There was a deep cave there. So they were coming, these girls. They didn't know how to swim. They all went inside the cave. They all drowned. Actually, to drown and to be at one place is out of my comprehension. And Sri Maharaji was so far, and from there when he sees, and all the parents are standing there and they didn't know. They were, high court judges, magistrates, doctors, and all these professional people, and they didn't know how to swim. So none of them could come and save their lives. And Maharaji, he always says, by chance, I turn around. Nothing is by chance with Maharaji, just like with Shyam Sundar. So Maharaji turns back to see, and he sees that these girls who are coming, the 6 of them, they are nowhere to be seen. And the parents are screaming up there. Then Maharaji just goes, swims all the way where the cave was, and he goes down to the exact point. He knew. And he goes down there and he says, luckily, fortunately, I found all the 6 together. You drown and you are all together. and none of them are holding the hands of one another, and yet they're together. Just think. Think about the divinity. So now, so once they saw Maharaji, now they saw Maharaji also. And how could they see Maharaji? When you are drowning, you don't see anybody. And they saw Maharaji and they held Maharaji. Now some got the legs, some the feet, some the stomach, some the back, some the hands, the 6 of them. Now the rescuer many a times is in great trouble, because it becomes very difficult for the rescuer also to get all of them and to save their lives and to swim out, because they would, with all their weight, the drowning person will pull the rescuer down more deep into the river. And many a times, greatest of the rescuers even, the most skillful ones, get drowned like this. Thus, it happens in this world. Anyway, Sri Maharaji gets all of them, and somehow Sri Maharaji got one of his hand, his arm free, because they were holding everything. So Maharaji says, I also sat there. So anyway, Maharaji frees himself, and then he comes out with all the 6 to save one person. Just think, just imagine. And he is saving all the 6 of them, brings them. They all had drunk the water, so he gave them resuscitation, took the water out, and gave life to life, and then brought them back to consciousness. So the thing is that Sri Maharaji is telling us that a drowning person always tries to pull the rescuer down with all the weight. So this gopi, of course, probably was trying to pull Sri Krishna because she's drowning, and now, anyway, she wants the touch, and she's getting that touch. So it took some time for Sri Krishna to come out, but he didn't take too long to come out. Because if he would have taken too long, then a 3rd person would have come in there, and pol patti sab khul jata. क्या पोल पट्टी खुल जाता कि पानी तो जरा से है, उसमें कौन डूब सकता है? हाँ, इतने पानी में जो कमर के बराबर पानी, उसमें कौन डूब सकता है? ये तो सब नाटक था, एक्टिंग थी. तो इसलिए पोल पट्टी ना खुले. The secret will be out. What is the secret? The water is only hip high, man. And who can drown in that? Nobody. So it's all acting, it's all play. So for the gopi, actually to get the touch. So this is how, in front of all the husband and the in-laws and all the Brajvasis, she is now drowning, and Shyam Sundar comes and takes rescues her, gets her out of the water, and malamal ho gayi gopi. So the gopi, of course, received the embrace. So Sri Maharaji turns to the gopi and says to the gopi, "Where is my tip?" Maharaji did all this for the gopi, so where is the tip? Where's the prize? The gopi says, "Ta-ta." Got it? Some of you are not smiling and laughing. Ta-ta. Tata, bye-bye. Thenga. Kali Yamuna Asnan Karan Gayi.
Kali Yamuna Asnan Karan Gayi.
Thaya Kripalu
Yamuna
ecstatic divine love bliss in which the gopi got intoxicated in cannot be even thought about by us, but just imagine, and let us leave the gopi in this position, and let us all glorify our beloved spiritual master, Jagadguru Swami Shree Kripalu Mahaprabhu, for giving us this most beautiful pad to do Roop Dhyan. Boliye Jagadguru Swami Shree Kripaluji Mahaprabhu ki Jai. Boliye hamare Natkhat Shyam Sundar ki Jai. Jai Jai Shri Radhe, Jai Jai Shri Radhe, Jai Jai Shri Radhe. So if you cannot do a Roop Dhyan on this type of a pad, just sing the pad, Budat lehu bachaye nath mohi. Go back to the Siddhanta Madhuri, just in the India Madhuri pads, but Budat lehu bachaye. We are all drowning in this ocean of Maya. And once we receive his divine bliss, then the tentacles of Maya, the grip of Maya is all broken. Like in the case of this gopi, it was shattered, broken forever. Now freed from Maya completely and drowned and immersed in the bliss of divine love. Such is the meeting with Shyam Sundar, the union of the soul with the beloved Godhead personality. Boliye Ladli Lal ki Jai.